The group stage is almost done, and the knockout bracket is finally starting to take shape. But here's the catch. With 48 teams, 12 groups and the brand new third-place qualification rule, this bracket is more confusing than any World Cup before it. If you're wondering who plays who, how the bracket is built, or which path leads all the way to the final, you're in the right place. Today I'm breaking down the complete knockout bracket structure for the 2026 World Cup, so you know exactly what's coming next. What is up everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button because we are your ultimate guide to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now let me tell you why this video is absolutely essential. The knockout bracket is not just a simple list of matches. It is a carefully designed structure that determines which teams face each other, which half of the draw they land in, and ultimately who has the clearest path to the final. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how the bracket works, what matchups to expect, and which teams have the easiest road to the championship. Let us get right into it. First, let us understand exactly how the knockout bracket is formed because this is where most fans get confused. Remember, we have 48 teams divided into 12 groups of 4. From each group, the top 2 teams automatically advance to the knockout stage. That gives us 24 teams. But we need 32 teams for the round of 32. So the 8 best third-place teams from across all 12 groups also qualify. Now here is where it gets interesting. These 32 teams are divided into 2 halves of the bracket. Groups A, B, C, and D go into one half. Groups E, F, G, and H go into the other half. The remaining groups, I, J, K, and L, are split between both halves. This means the bracket is not completely random. It is designed so that teams from the same group cannot meet again until the final, and teams from the same confederation are kept apart in the early rounds as much as possible. Now let us break down the actual round of 32 matchups. The group winners from groups A through D will face the third-place teams that qualify from specific groups. For example, the winner of Group A will face the third-place team from either Group C, D, E, or F, depending on which third-place teams qualify. The runner-up from Group A will face the runner-up from Group B. This creates a fascinating dynamic. If you are a group winner, your reward is facing a third-place team, which should be an easier matchup. But if you finish as a runner-up, you face another runner-up, which is often a much tougher game. This is why finishing first in your group is absolutely crucial. The difference between winning the group and finishing second can mean facing a relatively weak third-place team versus a powerhouse runner-up. This single factor could determine which teams make it to the quarterfinals. Quick pause, if this bracket breakdown is making sense, hit subscribe right now. We are covering every matchup, every path, and every story of this tournament. Trust me, you will not want to miss what is coming. Alright, let us talk about the quarterfinals and beyond. Once the round of 32 is complete, the bracket becomes much simpler. The 16 winners advance to the round of 16, then the 8 winners go to the quarterfinals, then the semifinals, and finally the final. But here is what most people do not realize. The bracket is split into 2 completely separate halves. The top half of the bracket contains teams from groups A, B, C, D, and parts of I, J, K, L. The bottom half contains teams from groups E, F, G, H, and the remaining parts of I, J, K, L. This means a team in the top half cannot face a team in the bottom half until the final. So if Brazil is in the top half and Argentina is in the bottom half, they can only meet in the championship match. This creates 2 completely separate paths to the final, and depending on where teams land, one path could be significantly easier than the other. This is why the group stage results are so critical. Finishing first in your group does not just give you an easier round of 32 matchup. It determines which half of the bracket you enter for the entire knockout stage. Quick question, which half of the bracket do you think is tougher, the top or the bottom? Drop your prediction in the comments. I read every single one. Now let us talk about the key venues and dates. Now let us talk about where these knockout matches will be played because the venue matters more than you think. The round of 32 matches will be played across all 16 host cities in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. But as the tournament progresses, the venues narrow down. The quarterfinals will be played in 8 specific cities. The semifinals will be held in only 2 stadiums, AT&T Stadium in Dallas and MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And the final, the biggest match in world football, will be played at MetLife Stadium in New York on July 19th. This means teams playing in the later rounds will have to travel less, which is a massive advantage. But it also means the atmosphere will be incredible, with the biggest stadiums hosting the most important matches. If your team makes it to the semifinals, they will be playing in front of 80,000 fans in Dallas or New Jersey. The pressure, the atmosphere, the stakes, it does not get bigger than this. Now let us talk about the potential blockbuster matchups we could see in the knockout stage. If the group stage results go as expected, we could see some incredible clashes in the round of 32. Imagine a traditional powerhouse like Germany finishing as a runner-up and facing another strong team that also finished second. These matches are often more intense than the final itself, because both teams know they are one game away from going home. We could also see some fascinating third-place matchups. A team that barely scraped through the group stage with just one win could face a group winner that is resting key players. These underdog stories are what make the World Cup so special. Remember Morocco in 2022? They were not expected to go far, but they made it all the way to the semi-finals. With the expanded format, we have even more opportunities for these magical underdog runs. So what does all of this mean for your favorite team? If they finish first in their group, they have a relatively clear path through the round of 32 and into the quarterfinals. But if they finish second, they face a much tougher road. And if they finish third, they need to hope they are one of the 8 best third-place teams, and then they face an uphill battle from the very first knockout match. This is why every single group stage match matters. A draw here, a loss there, it all adds up. Teams cannot afford to take any match lightly. The margin for error is smaller than ever before. So as you watch the final group stage matches, pay close attention to the standings. Every goal, every point, every result is shaping the knockout bracket in real time. So there you have it, the complete breakdown of the 2026 World Cup knockout bracket. We have covered how the bracket is formed, the round of 32 matchups, the path to the final, the key venues, and what it all means for your favorite team. The knockout stage is going to be chaotic, dramatic, and absolutely unforgettable. If this video helped you understand the bracket, please smash that like button and subscribe for more World Cup coverage. Drop a comment below telling me which team you think will win it all. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.